I heard that Psycho Stu is suing. Is he suing Raja specifically, or who is he suing specifically?
I know from a decent source that there are lawyers involved.
Is this confirmed? You know for a fact from your source, right?
That there's lawyers involved.
Is there any idea of who he's suing?
I think their first name starts with an R and their last name's Jackson.
Yeah, we know that there are lawyers involved, so let the process play out, and then we'll know it by ear. But I can say there's a high probability of that.
That's what's gonna happen to Raja?
Yeah.
That literally sounded like a jail door.
Straight to jail.
Yep.
So Rampage Jackson's son Raja not only got disowned by his own father live on TV, but according to Doug, a close person to the victim who separated the two before Raja's case would have been upgraded from attempted murder to manslaughter, said that after, Psycho Stu got released from the hospital just a couple of days ago, just last week, there are now lawyers involved, and he's speaking to detectives personally, trying to, put the case together to arrest this donkey. Now, for a little bit of context, you might be, who the fuck is Raja? What happened? I was detoxing from internet drama, catch me up to things. Don't worry, I got you. So Raja is a professional MMA fighter. He was invited with his coach into this WWE style wrestling game. It wasn't WWE, but it was like associated with WWE. Well, no longer after this whole incident. Psycho Stu talked him in the head with a beer bottle, trying to show him how, these things are done. It was out of nowhere. He got offended. Psycho Stu apologized. Raja accepted the apology.
I'm sorry, bro. Hey, it's gonna all work out. Yeah, hello. I appreciate it. I didn't know.
But just like a little boy he is, he didn't let it go. He was looking at himself in the mirror, talking to himself. You're a bitch. No, you're a bitch. I mean, I'm you, but you're a bitch. We do not want to be bitches anymore. Me and you.
I'm tired of everybody playing with me and shit. Think I'm always playing and shit. Call me bitch and shit. No bitch, bro. Cause I'm tired of everybody playing with me, bro.
The 12-year-olds in his chat spiced it up even more for him, and he decided to put this guy down with the first slam. The guy started seeing stars, and Raja started putting him, he tucked him in before his bedtime. Psycho Stu started dreaming, and Raja started redecorating his face with 20 plus punches while he was knocked out. He was going for the kill. He wanted to, triple confirm the kill. Anyways, we've been in the dark so far. A podcast that goes by the name of Scaling Up Podcast decided to release a video 5 days ago titling it Doug Mello, the guy who's close to the victim, confirms Raja Jackson is getting arrested / sued by Psycho Stu.
Doug, you've been talking to detectives, so what can you tell us from those conversations that you've had? Any updates? Will Raja Jackson be arrested from what you're hearing?
Yeah, there's not a doubt in my mind. Everything's on tape, on video. It's premeditated. Just LAPD tends to drag their feet. So the detective asked me a bunch of questions. I even asked about my implications, just because it's, you're involved and whatnot. And he goes, no, there's nothing to worry about. Like, you're just trying to get compliance. Everything was towards Raja. He asked a couple other questions about the other videos involved with the people in the back and this and that. Not for implications, just because he's just trying to get information. He's building a solid case.
To the detective building this case, he did this, he apologized for it, he accepted his apology, then hours later, he showed up, he almost beat him to death. Handcuffs, question mark? When are you going to go after Raja, question mark? I don't know what more evidence do they want. If you want the VOD, I'll get it for you. I'll send you the full VOD. You can see how Raja almost beat this guy to death. Like, what else more evidence do you want? I don't know what they're doing. Like, is there like more important cases? Just say so. You know what I mean? It's like, don't say, oh, we're just investigating to find out what really happens. Honestly, if I was a detective, it would take me like an hour to put this whole case together and charge him with attempted murder.
He was saying that this is just how LAPD works. They drag their feet. So they're building the case right now. They get all the evidence. The state's going to pick it up because there's so many people, so many witnesses. Heck, even my little brother saw it. My girlfriend, my mom, all the kids that saw it, all the people there. So that right there, they have the evidence enough to try the case. And then what they're trying to figure out is what level of premeditation is, from my understanding, is why he's trying to figure out what conversations took place, what conversations mean. He was asking me what specific terms mean exactly.
It sounds like the detective on this case has a lower IQ than the guy we just talked about a couple of hours ago. Someone needs to teach him what self-defense means. You defend yourself meanwhile someone is hitting you, not hours later, jump on him while he's seeing stars and dreaming about flying donkeys. You get on top of him and you beat him. That's assault. That's battery, literally.
And like what they mean to the person they're telling them to.
Thankfully for live streaming, they have a lot of that to look at.
It's so there, and I don't want to speculate and I don't want to, say anything else because it's all there.
I do want to draw a parallel. There was a situation, I don't know how many wrestling fans are aware of it, earlier this year with this guy named Wes Watson. If you guys watch John Bravo, you know what I'm talking about, where he beat up the 7-foot monster and he wasn't arrested on the spot. It ended up taking several months for the arrest to happen.
And that was in Florida.
That was in Miami, yeah, where I would assume they get shit done faster than LAPD. So just because it hasn't happened yet, I still expect it to happen, and it sounds like you do as well, talking to the detective.
Take your time, LAPD. Just take as long as you want. Do you have your reading glasses on or, video glasses on in case, is that why you're not seeing the evidence right in front of you? Sure, they want to build a strong case. Let's hope it doesn't get to months, but maybe a couple of weeks until they can press official charges. But it's so stupid. Like, it's so stupid to me. But just like Thanos said, it's inevitable. Sorry, English isn't my first language. It's inevitable, where it's just a matter of time before they press charges and charge him with all this shit, because there is no way he can get away with it. Even if he gives a HJ to a the genie, it's not gonna make it go away. The evidence is right there. Now, moving up to the next important part in this, is he getting sued? Psycho Stu hasn't said anything. His brother said in the previously discussed that, hey, he's doing fine. He is conscious right now, and just recently the news came out that they are out of the hospital. He's just suffering some head injuries. As far as I know, they've raised people donated $60,000 to Psycho Stu. But according to Doug and his reliable sources over here, he's confirming that there are lawyers involved. He didn't get into it much. Even the Psycho Stu, they're keeping us in the dark. What is going to happen? Is it going to be a civil case? Are they going to, dry him with money? Or is it going to be a criminal case and they want to take him down for destroying Psycho Stu's brain cells?
I heard that Psycho Stu is suing. Is he suing Raja specifically, or who is he suing specifically?
I know from a decent source that there are lawyers involved, but that was on the internet. I think it was X posted it, and then a couple other ones.
But is this confirmed? For a fact from your source, right?
That there's lawyers involved.
Is there any idea of who he's suing?
I think their first name starts with an R and their last name's Jackson.
Yeah, we know that there are lawyers involved, so let the process play out, and then we'll know it by ear. But I can say there's a high probability of that.
That's what's gonna happen to Raja?
Yeah.
That literally sounded like a jail door.
Straight to jail.
Yep.
Good. He should be sued. That's like the least they should do. And no matter what Raja does, if he offers, Psycho and his family flowers, kittens, the double hand toy stick, no matter what, it is not going to save him. He needs to pay for what he's done. And it's not like a sucker slam where, he intentionally, slammed him too hard that he, lost a couple of brain cells and got tucked to sleep before his bedtime. And he got put to sleep without his consent. It's not only that. It's the fact that he was on him and he kept on stalking him left and right 20 plus times. He could have died. His intent was to unalive, literally. Now, Doug over here, who's been praised for the past couple of weeks for stopping this whole thing and standing up for his friend, he's been under fire over the past couple of days for, saying that Raja doesn't deserve the maximum punishment. He deserves to be, sent to a hospital or something.
And another big question that people have is that when you went on TMZ and you did an interview, apparently you switched up a bit and you said that Raja should not be arrested. So were you paid off?
I never said that.
Well, that's what people heard, and they're saying you were paid off by Rampage Jackson. So is that accurate? Were you?
Well, if Rampage, you want to pay me off, I'm open to it. You know what I mean?
What's your price?
Couple million, $1 million. $1 million, all right? I got things to do, It's a lot of gold chains I could buy. No, the point was this. I felt at the time that there was so much going into that this kid's so volatile that he should have never been put in that situation. The guy who brought him there was supposed to be his coach, a mentor. And if I was somebody's coach or a mentor, I would never in my life allow them to be in any type of danger to themselves, to their livelihood, their lives, their family's livelihood. I'm responsible for this person. I'm their coach, right? So what I was saying is that he shouldn't have a max jail sentence over this, because there's so many moving pieces involved in this, I have a little bit of compassion, right? He's pushed into this bad situation. He's hyped up. He got all these moving pieces, and nobody wanted to be a freaking adult and just have a better conversation than, you know, what took place. So that's what I was getting at, is not a max sentence, a mandatory mental health evaluation, like a sentence that's substantial but not overdoing it, with a mandatory of you can't have any type of parole or anything early until you have this mandatory health evaluation and therapy program.
So those were your thoughts when you did the interview. Do you still stand by that?
Yeah, I wasn't trying to say that he shouldn't be sentenced at all. Like, that never left my mouth. I was saying he shouldn't have this max sentence or this heavy sentence. Like, attempted murder, what's the max on that? Like 15 years?
At least, probably, if not
Right?
more.
So, like, he's 25. Like, it's messed up what he did to Stu. It's a serious situation, so he's gonna get what he's gonna get. I'm just saying it shouldn't be throw the whole book at him.
Optimus, what do you think? Do you think he should get the maximum sentence? Optimus said, me and Optimus, we Bluetooth translation communication with our minds. He said that no, he should not get like the maximum sentence. He should get the maximum sentence in this whole thing, because, like I said, if you would have, you know, sucker slammed him on the floor, sure, it's still shitty. He will get booed for it. But, you know, when he got on him and he was still beating him, you can die from that, by the way. When he kept on beating him, that's when it got super, super serious, and he needs to pay for his actions. If he was conscious, at least he could have, you know, defended himself a little bit, right? But he wasn't. He was just getting beaten, and one wrong spot should talk to the afterlife. I think he should get the 10 to 15 years sentence, and the health evaluation should be mandatory. So it will be a lesson for everyone. Hey, if you fuck around, you are going to find out. Actions have consequences. I think that's a good example to set. Now, Rampage was also in an interview a couple of days ago saying that he has no more contact with his son. He seriously, like, you know, doesn't want to come close to him anymore, even though he defended him. Not only in his tweet that he made that we went over, but also in the interview saying that, hey, Stu, you fucked around, you found out, buddy. But yeah, I'm not talking to my son because he ruined my reputation.
If you are worried about his well-being, why are you not talking to him?
Because he dishonored my name, and
But he's still your son.
No, listen. I know he's my son. I'm not cutting him off for forever. I just haven't talked to him.
But this is the worst moment of his life. He needs you now more than ever.
No, listen. I talked to him after the shit happened, and he hid the fact that he did this shit, and you know he put my other kids at danger based off what the other people said, and I just can't talk to him right now. I just can't. I'm not saying I'm never going to talk to him again. I just can't talk to him right now. I need some time. I'm dealing with his attorneys and all that shit, but I'm very disappointed in Roger. Like, yeah, my son took it too far. He was wrong, and I don't condone what my son did. Thank God, Psycho Stu, you know what I'm saying, pulled through. I got really upset with all the death threats and all this stuff, and I wanted Psycho Stu to tell his part that my son did not sneak up on him, and I never heard him say that. So now I'm upset. Now I'm upset with Psycho Stu because he didn't come out and say, "Oh, whoa, yeah, what Roger did was f***ed up, but he didn't sneak in the ring and do this. The shit was staged." That's all he had to say to get some of these out of my DMs. He should at least said something. Take some accountability. Like, honestly, everybody was wrong. Roger was the most wrong. Everybody was wrong, but none of this shit ever would have happened if Psycho Stu never hit my son on the back of the head with a can that they was drinking beer out of, and then grabbed him by the neck, asked him to sell it. Everybody's wrong. The dumbest thing I ever seen. It was a nightmare. This is the thing, though. What took them so long? What took his other friends, his team, whatever, so long to get in there and get Roger off of him? Y'all, the police need to investigate that shit. Why it took his friends so long to get in that ring.
Crazy words coming out of Rampage Jackson's mouth. Nothing new, but hey, you need to investigate your friends for taking too long. What were they doing when they saw my son was, you know, almost unaliving your friend? Aren't you real friends? Well, maybe you wanted him to be in that position, and you police need to investigate that. So yeah, everyone is at fault over here. You know, if someone, you watching right now, if someone put a beer can on your face, you're gonna beat them to death. When they're unconscious, talking to sleep, Z's going all over the place, you're going to still beat them until, you know, there is no longer Z's, there is no longer oxygen in their body, right? right? Everyone would have done this. But yeah, anyways, like he said, he's taking care of the lawyers, attorneys for all the lawsuits that's gonna come his way, to his son's way, as Roger revealed that he's broke, he doesn't have any money. So yeah, let's just see what happened. And LAPD, you got this. Don't think too much about it. Just look at the evidence in front of you, and we believe in you. Yeah. Anyways, let me know what you think about this whole situation. Let me know how long you think he needs to be sentenced into prison. Does he deserve a minimum or a maximum sentence for his actions? Let me know in the comments below. More videos over here. Like, subscription, and you take it easy. I'll see you at the next one.